The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Welcome to Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson.
Justin Spears, I like that.
With Justin Spears and Ali Farhang on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, ESPN Tucson. Brought to you by Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I want to be entertaining, but I'm not stupid enough to compare myself to Ali.
We've got the voice of the Arizona Wildcats joining us, Mr. Brian Jeffries. Good morning, Brian. How's it going?
Good morning, gentlemen. Couldn't be better. Beautiful day here in Arizona, as it usually is this time of the year. And
yeah.
Ollie's wearing a tie today, so I feel great.
Yeah. When I'm wearing a tie, Brian, just know that good things are happening. They're going to positively affect you.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I got it.
So Brian, it's great to see you. Great to hear your voice, and I'm sure it's been very fun and exciting to be a part of this basketball journey this season. One of the top teams in program history. They're 22-0. You've been there every step of the way. What's been most impressive about Tommy Lloyd's team this year?
Well, I think probably the word that Tommy has used a lot, and that's just steady. And that is, it's the old cliche, one game at a time. And they've approached every practice, every game the same way, not looking too far ahead. Certainly there is a big picture. We know where they want to go, but they're not talking about it. Right now, they're just concentrating on the next game and see what they can do. And so that's what stood out to me is that, I know outside the program, people are talking about being number one, being unbeaten right now, and what they hope happen. I think inside the program, those guys just they can hardly wait to practice today and looking forward to Saturday and then whatever happens after that.
Brian, I know Tommy really firmly believes that the real testament of a team is, not the games that you win, but how you react and how you respond after a loss. Well, this team is 22-0. So how does Tommy try to implement those principles, those lessons with a team that has yet to fall?
Well, I think the one word that he's used a lot, and that's just improvement, that this team can continue to get better. I mean, keep in mind, there's 4 freshmen that are part of this rotation, and, they're still learning. And I think even the older guys are still learning. And it sounds crazy when you have the same starting 5 for 22 games and the same 8-man rotation for 22 games, and you've won them all. But there's always little things, and, following them this year, Tommy's not afraid to point out some of the flaws. This team does not, have just a perfect resume behind them. Other than the record, there's still a lot of things they can be better at. So I think that's the number one goal, is that each day you want to make some improvement, be it win or loss, be it a practice or not, be better the next day. And so far, I think they've been able to do that. Everybody's not going to be perfect every game. Guys are going to have off games. They're going to have great games. I think one of the other beauties of this team is the fact that it's so well balanced that you look at who's the leading scorer this week. It's kind of rotated. If you look at the stat sheet week by week, it might be right now it's Braden Burries. Last week it was Koa Pete. Earlier it was Jaden Bradley. I mean, from one game to the next, 1 week to the next, there's different people that are in that category. But at the same time, you've got that team concept where all 8 guys are contributing on a regular basis.
Ivan Karchenkov has turned into one of my all-time favorite role players at the U of A. There's been some great guys. I mean, most recently, I think about the energy that a guy like Dalen Terry brought to Tommy Lloyd's team. From your perspective, what has it been like to see what Ivan has added to this group?
And, he was kind of I guess I'll call him the unknown factor coming into the season, because we knew about Koa Pete. We knew about Braden Burries, top 10 recruits, players of the year in their respective states. And I think the fans kind of expected what they've received from those guys. We didn't know a lot about Ivan because, he came from Germany. Same thing with Dwayne Aristode, played in the Netherlands, even though he was in the States for a couple of years, didn't play last year due to an injury. And so, who are these guys? And so I think as the season has unfolded, because Ivan has started every game, we've seen more of him. And he's got great energy, tremendous defender, just relentless the way he plays. And he has turned, I think he's turned into the crowd favorite now because he has started to show some more emotion on the court. And this team, I'll go back to what I said initially, kind of a steady team. I mean, they haven't been a team that has sought attention on the court. Well, Yvonne now I think has started to take that role, and the fans love that. And as long as you keep it in control, I think it's a great part of the team, and it's got the fan base riled up. When we were up in Tempe last week, I mean, there was thousands of U of A fans there at ASU, and he was orchestrating the whole thing on the court. And I think that's what this team needs. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just it makes them a more cohesive group, more fun to watch, and I think more fun for all of them to play.
Brian, the top 8 guys you talked about the rotation. I mean, a number of them, at least 7 of them, are used to being the guy, right? And this is not just for this team this year. It's really a testament to Tommy Lloyd and how he coaches, where everybody's kind of together. They play selflessly, and everybody seems to know their roles and almost happier for their teammate success more than their own. You talked about it with who's the leading scorer this week versus next week. What is the secret sauce for Tommy Lloyd? What does he do? What is it about this culture where guys play for each other and don't focus on themselves?
Well, I think it starts with recruiting. You find guys that are willing to play in the system and understand their role, and they all have done that coming in this season. I think early on, the young guys probably, were looking to the older guys. Maybe the best example is Tobe Awaka, who was a starter last year, voluntarily, wanted to come off the bench because he saw that Mo Krivas was at that point where he needed to be the starter. Anthony Del Orso, the same thing. Top 3-point shooter last year, willingly, comes off the bench now. And so when you make those kind of sacrifices, and then I think the teammates, then they see that and they all want to be part of that. And so, Tommy has, had that culture since he arrived. And I think he preaches that from day one. These guys, they have fun playing together. And I, throw that word around, maybe too much chemistry. You hear it a lot. But I'm not going to use it with this team. I just think that they really like each other. I remember before practice even started, I ran into Justin Kukoski, the trainer, one day at McHale, and he just said, "You're going to like these guys. They're just good guys." And that was, I thought, a great description. And they are. They, riding on the bus with them on road games, you can just tell the camaraderie they have. They just get along very well, and that doesn't happen every season. Yeah. And so when you have that off the court, it then blends onto the court, and that's just part of their success right now.
So the Wildcats are getting ready to face Oklahoma State, and whenever I think of Arizona versus Oklahoma State basketball, I go back to that Salim Stoudemire game winner in the 2005 Sweet 16. What do you remember about that game, Brian?
Nothing, but other than that shot, was Bryant Reeves on that team? I can't. Was that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Big country, yeah.
Maybe he was. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's just say yes.
I was trying to.
He wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's interesting because getting into the Big 12 and starting these new rivalries and so on, and some of these schools, of course, that Arizona's never played before or hardly ever played before, and even though they played Oklahoma State before, it's not like playing Oregon or Cal or Stanford on a yearly basis, and you kind of have that history build up between them. I don't recall much about Oklahoma State at all prior to going there last year and playing in Stillwater. And I think that was our first game ever, at least the first game I'd ever been to Stillwater to play a game. It was 0 degrees, by the way. So I'm glad we're not going this year. It's interesting rebuilding these rivalries now. And we're still kind of waiting to see. We knew that Arizona-Kansas was going to be a great rivalry when Arizona got into the Big 12. I think the other rivalries are starting to percolate, as they say. But yeah, I remember the shot by Salim, but that was about it. I couldn't tell you one player that was on the Oklahoma State team that year.
Yeah. All right, before we let you go, the 2001 team is going to be honored on Saturday. The last Arizona team to get to a Final Four, and just a great group of players. Who is the one or two guys that you really became close with during that season?
When you say get close with, that's a hard thing to describe, because in my position, you have to be careful, because even though, I'm the Wildcat announcer, which, I think comes out over the air, we want the Wildcats to win all the time. There has to be some objectivity. And I was taught early on that you don't want to get too close to guys, because then it might affect your work. And so when you say get close to them, I want to get to know all the players. There's no one that stands out that I talk to more than anybody else. You want to have a good relationship with all of them. I mean, I certainly, Luke Walton was just a, fun guy because, he was always willing to chat. And I think Richard Jefferson was kind of the same way, although he was not quite as outgoing as he is now. So it was a group of guys a little bit like this team where I know they got along extremely well. They were a fun bunch. They really liked each other, liked to have a lot of fun off the court. I think that's one thing that I remember about them. But you just you like to know all the guys and have some relationship with them because, you're going to interview them several times every season. And it's nice to have guys that are willing to sit down with you and understand your job. And I think once you talk to them that first time, they kind of understand that, you're going to be their friend here. We're not trying to dig into anything and find anything controversial. We just want to find out, what you're all about and what the season's all about.
I hope you heard that, Justin. That's called professionalism.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Brian Jeffries, Arizona Wildcats broadcaster, joining us right here on ESPN Tucson. Arizona taking on Oklahoma State on Saturday at 2 p.m. at McHale Center. Brian, thank you for your time. We always appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. I haven't checked the schedule. Are the Steelers in the Super Bowl Sunday? No?
They are not. And people have asked me how I feel about Mike McCarthy, and I say it's like if they took Brian Jeffries and put him on TV. I'm not sure about it, but I'm going to get behind it, and I'll roll with it.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Brian, thank you so much.
All right. See ya.
Appreciate you.
Go Seahawks.